Greetings! This is Jeremiah Bourque, and today I am beginning a new video series called Idioms for Smart People. Now, why smart people? It's because, yes, idiots would rhyme, but idioms for idiots, that's too strong, and I have much too much respect for the people watching. Because I've learned Japanese from scratch as a young man to where I am now, a less young man. I know the score. I know how difficult it is to learn a language from scratch. But there's also simply, we've had so much going on. It's been difficult for people to better their English, to polish it up, to get to sound smarter and be smarter, because our means of communication were disrupted. We had so much separating us from people. We had masks on. We weren't watching people's lips as they moved. So these things got in the way. These things made it more difficult for us to acquire language. Because what do babies do? They watch faces. They listen. They see. They understand. So today our idiom is knowing the score. So I'll read from the definition from Merriam-Webster Dictionary. Informal. To have a good understanding of a situation. Now that she knows the score, she won't make the same mistake again. So there's that. Knowing the score is all about having a greater grasp, a greater understanding of an issue. But I wanted to bring up something that is a little bit different, because unlike my phrasal verbs videos, they're like this goldfish cookie. They're finger food. They're bite-sized. They have to be really short. I can go into a bit more length here. And I'm going to use as my prop this completely, utterly harmless butter knife. So in cooking, scoring is like if a caveman was counting on a wall. And that would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if my arm was a fish, you would score in order to make a cut so that hot air will go in more easily and it will speed up the cooking time. So the reason I bring this up is because of something that I read in a manga recently, because I was going over an old classic called Gunsmith Cats. And very late in the manga, someone took a diamond cutter, which is obviously a lot more than this butter knife, and the translation said, had the person saying she was scoring bulletproof glass. And because the glass would be cut because the diamond cutter was even harder than the very hard glass, then she could take a .40 caliber pistol and shoot out the bulletproof glass. Now, I checked. Would this really work? Absolutely not. Because bulletproof glass isn't glass. It's plastic, and it's been plastic for a long, long time. So the Popemobile has bulletproof glass, but that is plastic. So when I saw scoring being used in that sense, I have seen it. I know what Japanese it comes from. I don't fault the translation. I just think that it's obscure enough that most people aren't going to know what it is. If you're not cooking, if you're not a chef, you're probably not going to pick up the term easily, but it's good to know. But as far as knowing the score goes, this is more in the sense of sports. Who's winning? Who's losing? Who is ahead? Who is behind? Who is getting better? Who is falling and doing worse? So these are the sorts of things that go into a score in a game. Any kind of sports match, any kind of sports event. So having a knowledge of those things, having an understanding of what's going on, that is what gets you more information into your head, a greater and deeper understanding of your context. And that's knowing the score. Idiomatically, it's knowing the score. So what I want to do with this series is to spend more time talking because I like talking, but I want to do it where people are going to hear me. And I also just want to explain things more because I think that it helps people. And now that you've heard my little explanation, my little talk about box cutters and diamond cutters and butter knives, you are a few steps closer to knowing the score. And I hope that makes you feel like a smarter person. This has been Jeremiah Bourque, and I'm signing off for now.